Kia ora, my name is Georgia Doherty. I am a first year health and physical education teacher based at Tamaki College. Tamaki College is a high school based in East Auckland, and we have students from the ages of 13 to about 18 years old. I'm also a part of the Manaakilani Digital Teachers Academy, or the MDTA. Before this year, I completed a Bachelor of Physical Education, which is a 4-year degree qualifying me to become a health and PE teacher. Because of my love for sport and physical activity and movement and the body in general. And I also enjoy educating youth about physical activity and the benefits it has. It saddens me to look around and see how big people are becoming and hearing about the New Zealand statistics around the obesity epidemic. I think that a massive contributor to this epidemic is a lack of education. I want to educate youth about how to be active, how to encourage others to be active, and just general skills which can be transferred across their lives and others' lives. On the flip side to PE, I'm also quite passionate about health education. Health education to me is preparation for life, preparation for reality, preparation for the future. But not only the future, also preparation for now, and what to do if we get into tricky situations. My love and passion for health and PE and wanting to educate students to feel empowered to make decisions in their lives is the reason why I became a health and PE teacher. And I'm now living that dream, and to be honest, sometimes I even forget that I get paid to be here. I'm based in the health and PE department, as this is my specialty, but I also teach junior social studies. I'm a little bit different to the rest of the MDTA cohort, and that's not only because I'm the only secondary teacher, but also because I have 2 mentors. Our department has 5 staff, 4 of which are new to Tamaki College, which has been amazing. I'm involved with the redevelopment of the department for the present and for the future, and this is great to be part of. Although difficult and time consuming, it is rewarding and in the long run will be better. To explain who I am as a teacher is quite a difficult question to answer because my teaching philosophy is changing every minute of every day, and it'll continue to change as long as I teach. I do believe, though, that I'm a teacher who strives to educate about diversity and acceptance of difference in the world. We live in a world that is very complex and variant, and there are several religions, races, sexualities, ancestries, genders, and the list goes on. And if we aren't educated about this complexity that's in our world and the variance within our communities, then we may not understand how these complexities arise. So I want my students to be able to understand and accept and be open to these complexities, to understand it is positive to be different. Difference should be applauded. I applied for the MDTA program because of an appreciation for the shift and change of technology globally, and I wanted to learn more about it. Although I've grown up with computers and smartphones, I felt like I actually knew and still know barely anything about them. That's because every day new things are being developed and created. There is so much more to learn every day, and I want to be a part of that. This program sounded like a huge challenge, and I love a challenge, especially because during my undergrad program we were told numerous times, do not study and work full time, especially in your first year, because you will run yourself to the ground. Here I am doing just that. So I applied for the program because I wanted to face that challenge. I wanted to prove to myself and others that I actually can do it. At the moment, I feel like I'm on top of things. There's always 1,000,001 things to do, but I think I'm getting there slowly but surely. The word challenge, though, is undeniably an understatement. Also, I am wanting to complete my master's and possibly a PhD in the future, so I looked at this pathway as an avenue to continue to study because I fear that if I stop studying, researching, writing assignments, going to lectures, then I may not ever go back if I get out of that habit. Lastly, I applied because I was really excited about the opportunity to work in a low decile school. During my university placements, I was at a decile 3, a decile 6 and 2 decile 9 schools, and I did not enjoy the decile 9 school. Eventually I realised that the demographic of the children at the decile 3 school was the reason why I enjoyed it so much. The kids were way more appreciative of me and desired my help much more than the other schools that I was on placement at. The higher the decile, the less appreciated I felt, the less love I felt, and then as a consequence of this, the less passion and enjoyment I had from being a teacher or being involved in a school. So This opportunity to be involved in a low decile community, I jumped at. Throughout the first 2 terms, I think I've developed immensely as a teacher, but obviously still have a long way to go, and I will continue to develop. I've been put into an environment that is quite different from thousands of other teachers, which has afforded many things that I may have never experienced elsewhere, including the digital immersion Fridays. I have been using these skills and ideas as often as I can in order to try and create a creative flair in the department. I'm trying to use my knowledge and skills to educate others about how to use the digital world. I've been creating units and lessons for the future using what I've learnt throughout the MDTA digital immersion, such as a water safety site for Year 10 PE. One of the many paths which makes the journey of MDTA is that for the first year we co-teach all of our classes. Having a co-teacher has been so great, and I'm trying really hard not to take it for granted. Experienced teachers support me 24/7 essentially, and that means that I always have someone to assist me and support me when I need it. Now, although a substantial amount of time is dedicated to emails and texts and calls and meetings, I look at it in a positive way that this time is actually spent instead of solo planning. So an affordance of having a co-teacher is that all of my planning is done with somebody else and somebody who is experienced. Another contributor of my development, which has led to success in my teaching and learning and my student learning and achievement, has been university. My case study has been successful to increase student achievement, engagement and motivation of the Year 12 PE class. I do think though that a fundamental part of my progression and development of learning as a first year has been my own reflections. Sometimes it can be disheartening if something does not go to plan, but with the reflections I've come to appreciate that nothing is ever going to be perfect. Nothing is ever going to be the way that we want it to go, but being able to move forward is what is important. Being resilient is what is important. I also have a journal. This journal allows me to discuss lessons, activities that may or may not have been successful, and success to me is engagement from the students and meeting the learning intentions. Using this journal is also how I am trying to approach challenges. When a challenge meets me in the eye, whatever that may be, I try to take a breath, think about the current situation I'm facing and how I would like that situation to change. Sometimes I set up yoga in my lounge so that I feel like I am at home, but I also can try to focus on the mind and the body. A massive part of the MDTA program, and actually the Manaia-Kalani cluster in general, is that support that is available. For me personally though, the easiest way to face a challenge begins by exercising, and this is how I relax my mind and my body. Post-exercise, I feel like my head is clearer and I can make decisions about how to move forward. A final anecdote to mirror my experiences thus far, as well as the next steps, is a quote from Albert Einstein. "I never teach my pupils, I only attempt to provide the conditions in which they can learn." I think this reflects my classroom culture because I facilitate learning rather than teach. The students teach me as much as I teach them.